Okay, I've got some explaining to do. I can't tell you the amount of times I've written and rewritten a script like this over the last decade. One of the problems of having just enough eyes on me for close to 20 years now is that I've lived in my own personal panopticon on this channel and have been scared, genuinely so, of folks finding out about the real me I've hid from this side of the internet for so long. So, without further ado, I first knew I was gender nonconforming in 2018. Though I had kind of had inklings of it for a while before then. I've never particularly identified with any one gender identity, nor have ever woken up and declared loudly, I want to be a woman today, but there was a discomfort, a subtle but present discomfort that I had always carried with myself when conversations of attraction or identity came up. Sure, I look male, and nominally have always been attracted to femme-presenting folks, but as I've been learning, so much of that was based on expectations set by other people, not myself. Autism and gender is weird. There's an emerging term called gender detachment that describes folks on the spectrum's connections with gender identity, or rather the lack of one, and I fit pretty firmly into this category. For some folks, shrugging and saying, yeah, gender doesn't really matter to me is sufficient, but that's never really felt right to me personally. So, okay, here goes. I started hormone therapy almost 2 years ago, and I identify, finally, after a lot of hand-wringing, as transfemme. This is a recent change. This has been something that I've only really felt comfortable coming to terms with within the last 6 months or so due to a lot of stuff that's happened to me, but this is who I am, and I identify in this way pretty firmly. I'm figuring out exactly how that intersects with myself, and there's an additional element that kind of makes things more complicated there. Yep, we're ripping off multiple Band-Aids with this one, so strap in. On the podcast that I host with Tor, you may have heard me introduce myself as one of several creatures that identify as Casey. Well, we're plural. For the older folks out there, this used to be called multiple personality disorder, or MPD, but it's now a whole spectrum of different identity disturbances. There's a lot of a lively debate as to what is and isn't plurality, but I'm not really going to get into the weeds about that. So, yeah, there's 6 of us in total, so sounding off, we have Aurora, Alec.
Hi, my name is Buddy. This is Stanley. He's a very big and very weighted mouse plush creature. I love him. Wow.
Canvas. Oh, fuck, I didn't even have my fucking... Micah. Zach. This changes pretty frequently as we're always trying to uncover new things about ourselves, learn new things, uncover new narratives, that sort of deal. But yeah, collectively you can just call us Casey. There's always more work to be done. This is not a set thing at all. But through self-expression, we've tended to find a lot of purchase in figuring out ourselves. As you may have seen in a video last year, we're also a furry and have been drawing now for over 8 years and been in the community for over 10 at this point. I won't link our stuff directly as we split our content between making things for local markets and adult-oriented artwork, but it's a huge part of our identity, and it is something that, while we're not going to be directly linking on this channel, if you find it, well, you'll know who we are. Okay, what does all of this mean for the channel? It's a lot to throw out there. Well, I'm kind of at an interesting crossroads in what I want to do with this channel. I'm making just enough money at it to really not feel any motivation to do anything different, which has always kind of been the problem. I am paid just enough to put out just kind of unedited stuff on here, and I appreciate all the views that those videos get, but at the same time, it's very creatively unsatisfying for me. I genuinely want to have the motivation to do different stuff and be more openly myself on the open internet. As scary as that is to do right now, I do think that that is the way to survive troubling times. And so through that, obviously doing the podcast with Tor is one of those things. I get to openly be weird, kind of be a freak on that podcast, and it's fantastic while talking about things that I love. That feels really cool to me. And honestly, a lot of it is also just kind of laying out who I am on this channel. I've been scared of talking about this for years now at this point. I've been terrified of somebody finding out about my furry stuff or about the gender identity stuff or the plurality stuff and basically telling the world that, oh my god, this small, ostensibly very heteronormative, guy on the internet is actually a furry artist who is also a trans woman. And I'm really tired of living that double life. I've bifurcated my online presence so severely that it really does feel like this is just somebody else's YouTube channel in a lot of ways. More expectations of what people want me to be than who I actually am. And I am tired of living like that. So, yeah, putting that out there as who I want to be. The pace of my regular train content isn't going to be changing. I'm currently transitioning away from posting California content in general right now and moving on to kind of posting my backlog of Washington content. So my goal is to be getting back to posting unnarrated train videos every Sunday going forward. But I also have a couple other things, like I'm planning on doing a vlog style video of a chase that I just did yesterday of a BNSF train outside of Spokane. Potentially going to be doing more stuff involving the podcast and, every first Tuesday of the month with Tor over on his second channel. That has been a fantastic experience so far. And then potentially during the summer, I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to do this. I run a Mario Super Sluggers CPU versus CPU draft league with my friends, and planning on doing some stuff with that this summer and potentially streaming those games if I can, wrangle everybody to be able to do that. So, not entirely sure if I'm going to be posting that or not, but if I do, it'll be streamed right on this channel and not on my secondary, which is where that's been hosted up until now. What's my secondary channel? I never use it anymore, so don't worry about it. So yeah, being openly me and openly us is something that we've really gotten good at in every aspect of our life except for YouTube. It's been a lot of fear that, due to demographics and just the unknown of coming out about this sort of thing, that folks finding out that the person who does this sort of thing is a lot weirder than they thought will alienate my audience. But I'm done being afraid. I want to thank the people who responded to my community post about this. I came out on a community post about a month ago, and the folks who responded to that positively are the reason why I am doing this today. I also wanted to thank the people in Tor's Patreon Discord server for kind of just encouraging me to be more openly myself in a broad sense. It's the first time I've ever been really around people online socially that weren't in furry spaces that were chill with me being who I am, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, thank you for watching this. I'm terrified about posting this, but I will see you trackside. Take care.